Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's F3 division. Coming to you live for round number 4 of the season. It is the Chinese Grand Prix. We are obviously put the difficult Vietnam track to one side from last week. This is a totally different track, and I'm very much looking forward to this because this should be full of overtaking, full of strategy, maybe a sprinkling of rain, but it's sunny at the moment, but maybe there could be some for the race. I'm definitely looking forward to this one, and it should be an entertaining one. F3 have provided so many good races over the last couple of weeks, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm RSF1 Michael, also known as Brondell, and I'm joined this week by Vettel SF71H. So, good evening to you, Vettel, and as I said, looking forward to it. Are you the same?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Normally this is Land of the Smog. Apparently from Monster Skyline there's a lot of rain incoming.
Yeah, according to Button in the chat, it's a wet race as well.
Excellent.
So that's going to throw so many things into the mix now. Yeah, wet race around here, that changes things a little bit, Vettel, doesn't it?
Yeah, qualifying times might be a bit slower because obviously downforce in the wet is more important than straight line speed, but having said that, if your car's fast in a straight line in the wet, it's really hard to overtake them. It's hard to find a decent.
Certainly. It's one of those, isn't it? Some people like watching wet races, others don't. I personally like it because it sorts the men from the boys, or the ladies from the girls, I guess, if you have a female driver in the mix, but I don't believe we do on this grid. Yeah, sometimes the field can spread out. Sometimes, I guess, that's what people's against it. Plus, there's no DRS. That can also mean we get proper overtakes this time, Vettel, without the DRS, potentially.
Yeah, I do find DRS overtakes a little boring. That's probably why I don't really like Portimao, because it was just DRS.
Right, so 19 drivers going around the circuit tonight at the moment, so shame we're missing the one. Would have been good to have a full 20, but 19 is still perfectly fine. And Blazer Guns is on his way round under clear skies at the moment, but as we've been told, that's going to change later on. But as he goes round, Vettel, this track, I mean, I've hyped it up. I really love this track. Of course, I'm not racing anymore, so I kind of missed it last night in F2, but it's just... Actually, you said before we went live you don't particularly like it. So what's your reasoning to that?
Well, one reason is that I'm not particularly good at it, and I just find it really boring to drive. There's nothing particularly challenging about it for me, so...
That's awkward, considering I hyped it up and you're like, oh, I don't like it. I guess there are some very challenging corners, especially you got the long right hand onto the back straight. That's kind of the make or break corner around this track, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's where you can lose probably the most time on the track. The rest of it's quite easy to get the flow of it right. I absolutely despise turn 1 around here, though.
Oh, yeah. Turn one on the first half is going to be quite interesting because there's multiple lines going through there as well, and it's the car naturally understeers, doesn't it? So a lot of people think they can go on to the inside, but then the gap will always close because that's obviously the apex.
Yeah, I mostly feel bad for the people who are on the outside of the grid, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to get forced wide.
Yeah, my lap times aren't popping up, but already Quaker Oats setting a very competitive time of 1:30.6. Last night in F2 under clear conditions and qualifying, we saw, I think it was a 29.4 for pole. I'm going to gather probably mid to low 29s is probably going to be pole here? Maybe a high 29. What do you think?
Well, I haven't raced at this track since about November, so I don't know. It's not one I particularly keep track of, but I imagine anyone wearing the 29s is considered a decent lap around here.
Yeah. Obviously, first big major news we want to tell you about for those normally watching F3. We have no VRC Dan because, well, he's changed his name to Sync Dan, and those eagle-eyed viewers among you would have seen he raced in F2. That's because he got promoted to F2. The pace that he showed in the first 3 races, obviously 2 out of 3 poles, and missed out on the 3rd pole by 100th of a second last week in Vietnam, and 3 race wins in a row. Yeah, pretty much summed up everything, and felt they needed a challenge. And to be fair to him, he took the challenge. He relished it, and he's looking forward to racing in F2. Had a difficult race last night in F2, but I'm sure he will show his full potential, and we wish all the best to him. Replacing him is this guy, Beast Pro, in the Ferrari. So Beast Pro is full-time now in the Ferrari, so obviously the Maranello team...
Falcon.
Falcon already, 30.6. Just ahead of Quaker Race. Yeah, obviously Raikkonen being team principal, Ferrari, and the whole of that team wishes that Beast Pro can continue the good, strong start that they have in F3.
And Shane across the line with a 31.2.
Eagle also up there, 30.6 in the Mercedes, so Eagle going strong to begin with as well.
We got Millsy as well. Not running too wide through there. It's a decent lap to 30.8.
Nice. Bit of... go wing. There was a bit of static on your mic there, Vettel, but it's gone now. Right, Camo in the racing point next to go. Yeah, I'm expecting Millsy to do quite well at this track, Vettel. It seems to be a strong track for him. It's had a difficult time so far in F3, but he's been in the points every race so far this season, so early signs looking good.
Yeah, definitely. Making sure you're consistent throughout a season is a big help to your team, even if it's just a small amount of points each race. I think they're more than happy to get the points.
Camo with a 31.0 goes 8th at the moment. By the looks of it, Vettel, I think if you can get into the 30s Q1, I think you're safe. Although I could be wrong, because F3 has been very close in qualifying these past few weeks, so don't count me on that, but it looks like to be a mid to high 30s probably.
Who's just jumped up? Was it Eagle? Nope.
Eagle's already gone up there. I's the best,
yeah.
30.8 I think.
Yeah, it is.
That's one person we need to keep an eye on. A lot of people are saying I's the best is very, very quick around here.
Well,
a
he's
lot of good pace
up at the moment.
And on the second lap, interesting. Cooper Benz though has really come into his own at the start of this season and tops the session at 130.5. Cooper Benz on the back of 2 second places in a row from Bahrain and Vietnam. So really settling into the championship. It's good to see now, isn't it? It does take a couple of races, or in his case a race, to kind of settle in, doesn't it, Vettel, sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. Making sure you're getting podiums consistently will put you up there in contention for the championship.
Yeah, I's the best has gone quicker, 30.4, so he's flexing his muscles already.
Yeah, on worn tyres as well.
Very nice for Myers. And the clouds are gathering a little bit, I've noticed. It was completely blue skies, and now we got a few gathering already. Right on board a Peachy Pig as he goes around the almost never-ending right-hander. onto the long back straight. Unfortunately, obviously last week, Peachy Pig and Sainz had a coming together in the last corner in Vietnam, and both did not finish in the points at all. So both would be keen to move on from last week. And Peachy Pig 31.007, 5 thousandths slower than his teammate Shane.
Yeah, tight qualifying battle so far between the Renaults. Interestingly, Sainz all the way down in 12th. Obviously been a very quick driver recently. Bit of a surprise.
Championship leader going into this, Sainz is. As Maniac pops to 14th. Yeah, in terms of the championship, RSF1 Sainz, despite the non-finish in Vietnam, leads the way on 36 points. He is 3 points ahead of Cooper Benz, who is earned second on 33. Then to Shane on third place on 24. Then we go to Stretch and Falcon, both on 23 points each. Camo's on 22. RSF1 Eagle on 16. Eyes the best on 12. Then the two Alfa Romeos, Skyline ahead of Millsy, 10 and 8 respectively. Quake Roats and OG James on 4 points. Kachow on 3 points. Peachy Pig on the 1. And the rest are yet to score. And obviously they are hoping to change that fact. Also Vettel, Spooky, you see in the McLaren. That is Toxic CW, I believe. Yeah, it's the right ones. MW's in F4. So yeah, that's Toxic CW. Of course, anybody else that's watching now a little bit confused as well. Yeah, had to change his account because he had a few problems with signing into the game. Or something like that.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that's happened to quite a few people.
Happened to me in like one of the early patches. I managed to sort it, fortunately enough, and then went back to my original one once they fixed it.
Interestingly, OG James has retired.
Is that safe? He's got 7 temps at the moment, but if everyone improves, we've seen how close this qualifying can get.
Yeah, track evolution is quite a major factor in whether people will go through or not. Spooky only improving to 15th.
Edited Fawn is another driver to join the ranks in F3. I believe he's a reserve tonight. Edited Fawn in the McLaren. Currently in 18th at the moment, just ahead of Blazer Gun, so both of them will have to improve, of course. Just quickly run through the constructors while we have the time. Ferrari lead the way in F3, obviously mostly thanks to VRC Dan winning 75 of the 79 points they're currently on. And then we got Racing Point on 55, starting off strong. Red Bull third on 48. Then Mercedes on 39. Renault just ahead of Williams, 25 and 23 respectively. Alfa Romeo on 18. And we got Haas on 7, McLaren on 6, and AlphaTauri on 4 points. As Camos has popped up to third on a 30.6, so early goings, Vettel. We got some competition for pole by the looks of it.
Yeah, only a 10th. Yeah, around about a 10th and 1.3 tenths difference between the top 3 at the moment.
Is it just me? Is it getting very dark?
No, it is getting very dark. The smog's rolling in.
Smog?
Yeah, it's China.
Oh, of course. Oh, Blaze running. Oh, he is on an outlet, but Blaze running very wide. That double left-hander. Now, the one thing on this track, on this game, Vettel, that surprised me when the first time I went round it. You know the long left-hander after, was it turn 5 and 6?
Yeah.
The 6 and 7. On this game, it's flat if you get the line right, isn't it? And of course, if you got the setup. And obviously, in previous games, you couldn't take it flat. Yeah, always had to lift a little bit.
I believe on F1 2011 and F1 2018 you could go flat on it, but 2011 was pretty broken.
Yeah. I'd love to know how you could go flat on that game, because I never could.
You needed a wheel. The wheel was
Of
very
course.
good on that game.
Makes sense. Shane's got on to third on a 30.5. Look how close that top...
Yeah, James might be out,
Yeah, only 9th at the moment. There's... Who else has just popped up? Someone else has popped up there. Oh, Science, 30.7. So yeah, he's joined that group at the top. Yeah, 2 temps covering the top 7 at the moment. That's really close. Great to see.
Quirky Turtle, 30.9. Stretch, only a minor improvement in the middle sector.
Ah, that is harsh from my Blazer Guns. What turn is that? He was 6 temps up as well. That is a harsh track extend, but it can be, can happen.
Well,
6 temps up as well.
the game likes to punish you.
Ooh, Millsy retiring on a 30.8 as well.
Yeah, maybe
So
not
he's
one
coming up with a
that's
Mercedes.
waste the tyres.
Stretch.
Uh,
Button in the chat. Umbrellas up, rain incoming. Definitely clouds are gathering.
Peachy Pig,
You have to get on with it.
10th and a half up at the moment in the middle sector.
All 4 temps now. That's better. That's what he needs. This is how close this is, Vettel. 4 temps will put him 5th. Or even higher than that. Ridiculous. He's going 15th at the moment. Maniac gets the exact same time as Quaker Oats to go 8th. It's ridiculous. I think you're right. I think OG James, Millsy, and maybe Beast Pro, 10th, 11th, and 12th might be in a bit of danger here, because Peachy Pig, if he finishes this lap, he'll go ahead. And there's the rain. Rain's coming down.
Pig.
As nice. Tops the session.
Spooky a 10th down. I don't think it's going to be an improvement. Monster Skyline a 10th up at the moment. Probably won't be enough.
Needs more than that. Stretch and Quirky Turtle are in the pit, so we got Skyline, Spooky, and Blazer Guns. All needs to improve. Skyline through the final corner. Born is out. And Skyline goes to 16th, but not enough.
Laser guns, not sure what improvement there is.
So rain already coming down, Vettel, means we could have an intermediate Q2.
Yeah, maybe in a full wet Q2, you know. Got in that
Oh,
corner
that was
a
close to the
lot.
last corner.
It's not enough, only...
No. He was millimeters from cutting the corner. That last corner wasn't enough though.
Yeah, had the session maybe stayed dry the whole way through, I think OG James, Millsy and Breeze Pro probably would have been a quite high risk.
Qualifying's up. Qualifying's finished. So both McLarens, Spooky, who is Dr. CW, 17th, Ford 19th, Blazer Guns 18th, and Monster Skyline in 16th place in the Alfa Romeo. Bit of a surprise, but also noticing that Quaker Oats got near to Peachy Pig there, I think. Was that Peachy? No, Quaker never improved. Never mind.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people do for strategy in the race. I'm not sure what the tyre degradation is like for the wets.
Hmm.
I imagine it's quite high.
No, I'm thinking at the moment. I like seeing a wet race, and as I said, it sorts the men from the boys sometimes. But by the look at this times, you got a 10th separating the top 5, half a second separating the top 14. It's kind of a shame, really. We're not getting a dry session because this is very, very close.
Indeed. I always find watching
Right.
wet lap was more entertaining.
Yeah. Because especially on this game, wet weather racing is a lot more tricky, isn't it? Even on I run medium traction, but you know, even on medium traction, it's a lot more difficult. There we have it. Top 15 separated by just over half a second, and those are the guys eliminated from Q1. If you quickly run us down the top 3, Vettel.
In third was Eyes the Best with a 30.499. Second was Quaker Oats with a 30.477. And provisional pole was Peachy Pig with a 30.450.
Oh, 31 viewers already. So thank you very much for watching, and this qualifying session can get very, very interesting.
Yeah, if it is wetter, you probably don't want to be using the pole of the tyres.
Intermediates already. I was thinking we might have that situation of it's just not wet enough yet and have everyone on dry tyres and it's like be like first to get out. But it is intermediates.
It doesn't look very wet.
It'll be a case of the first comes out, gets the best lap, and is a Ferrari of Beast Pro that's going to be the first, I think. No, gets cut in line by a Racing Point of Cooper Benz.
In the pit lane, it doesn't look too bad.
Can you get Peachy back in, please?
Sure.
Yes. There is... Oh, he's back in anyway. Probably got invited by his teammate Shane. Let's see how the track conditions are. There's definitely a lot of spray, as you saw. Cooper Benz have a big slide out turn 3 there.
One thing have noticed is people who use ABS on cannot brake very late in the wet. But if you turn it off, you can brake extraordinarily late. It's not nearly a dry line, pretty much.
Yeah, and this is a weird feeling going from like Q1 it's dry and then this is now intermediate because the grip levels just completely change, don't they? The car's obviously a lot more loose.
Yeah, through the S's, well, the multiple S's on this track, you need as much grip as possible.
Eagles had enough, or a spin at turn 3, so that pretty much emphasises now. There is Cooper Benz, okay. Let's get an indication actually of how much slower as well, because the lap times are going to be completely different. Oh! Almost losing out of the hairpin. Quirky Turtle interestingly looking at the sauce. I don't think it's dries, to be honest.
No.
I think
Interesting to keep a Benz braking through there. Normally you can just let the engine brake and do all the work.
Yeah. Nicely through turn 3. Feather the power on. Watch the car as it slides. Oh, he's lost it. Get out of the wall.
I think that's a lap over.
Lucky boy to keep going, I guess, with that.
Yeah, no front wing damage as well, which is quite impressive. See how Beast Pro is doing. Nearly going flat out through there.
I had to go down a couple of gears. Cole, it's relatively stable. That corner has just gone through there. The double left-hander. That's always very tricky. You can easily outbrake yourself, especially in the rain.
Well, obviously, Purple Sector 2, first guy to set a competitive lap.
Oh, sliding the car everywhere.
This is where the short shifting, which people like to do, is extraordinarily helpful because it eliminates all wheel spin. Well, not all of it, but majority.
Most of it, yeah.
315 kilometers an hour, hitting the brakes at the 100-meter board. Quite brave there. Going on.
You got it on kilometers?
Yeah.
Ah. I never understand that. Always sort of miles an hour for me.
I think it looks more impressive with the kilometers now.
Yeah, pretty solid lap, but there we go. That's the indication. 144s now. Immediately beaten by a stretch for 44.7. Ferrari OG James 45. Falcon into the 44s just.
Signs 45 to 1. Quaker Oats 43.
Nice. Obviously, I don't really know the pace of intermediates. We just got to allow everyone to go through. 44.2 from Shane. But by the looks of it, as they filter through, I think if you're getting into the 43s, I think it's quite impressive by the looks of this.
Yeah. Obviously, majority of drivers will be going for laps after the other because the tyres will be properly warmed up and you'll learn the surface a bit better.
Yeah, Stygian saying KPH is superior. Okay.
Yeah, it's easier for calculations as well.
Okay, where's my... Uh-oh. My laptop has gone black screened. That's not good. Oh. What are we doing? Laptop, what are you doing? I need to focus on this race. Camo, unfortunately, I think he invalidated last corner. But looked up and his lap is already invalidated. He's only just started, so fortunate for him. Cooper Benz as well, so both racer points struggling with the track limits at the moment.
Yeah, that final corner can be especially punishing, even if you put half a wheel over it. I've never really understood why it's so strict. When you watch the real life race, they basically just drive over it like it's a normal track.
Yeah. Science goes up to 5th. Quaker Oats improves on a second lap. I think he got a little bit of slipstreaming though from Sainz in front of him.
Yeah, the main straight, the slipstream is extraordinarily powerful.
Quaker Oats is looking quite impressive. Eyes the best joins him on the 43s, 43.9. This is where, though, the drivers are going to be careful, Vettel, because if I remember rightly, you only get a certain amount of wet tyres for the whole weekend. That's including the race. So I think they've got to be slightly careful how they use them. Obviously, it's a good thing that... Sorry, it's a good thing that Q1 was dry, so they don't have to use all the sets, but they still got to have some back. I think you've only get 3 for qualifying, if I remember rightly.
The qualifying tyres also count as the race ones. You only get 3 of each.
Ah. So Millsy goes 6th for 44.5. Pretty solid time.
Who else is on a lap? Camo.
There we go.
Invalidated again.
Oh, James.
Is that a crash?
That's... No, it's in the pits. That's an odd one. Because there's still 7 minutes to go. Unless he's thinking, because... Rain... Has the rain got harder?
It doesn't look it, no. I'm looking at the spray and it's... well... It might be a little bit harder, but the drying line should be okay.
It's not bothering eyes a bit. 43.2. Jeez, I was going to point out that both Red Bulls were thousandths of a second between each other until eyes is like, okay, I'll just go half a second quicker than that. Jeez, I bet eyes is loving this, especially if it's raining in the race as well. He's looking very strong.
Yeah, pole position in the wet's normally not the best place to start. Obviously, you're going to be sat on the grid, and cold tyres in the wet are awful. I think that's the politest word to use.
Find a way of putting it. Okay, Camo goes 7th on a 44.4.
I'm not near Peachy Pig 44.3. Not sure if 44.4 is going to get Camo through. Camo is low on fuel as well, so that looks to be maybe qualifying over.
Well, you validated the first couple of laps. I think he's just happy just to get one on the board. Cooper Benz, though, his teammate. Now, remember, Cooper Benz has been pretty quick in qualifying. Obviously, the rain could change all of that, but he's been looking strong the last couple of weeks. It'll be a bit of a surprise if he goes out here.
Yeah, obviously having quite a strong Q1. Maybe wasn't anticipating the rain.
I've got a very nice drink alongside me. Cooper Benz, just going through the middle sector now. Yeah, got same drink I had of the last week. Old Moot cider, pineapple and raspberry. Very nice.
Yeah, it sounds it.
Other ciders are of course available. You don't have to just get Old Moot cider, but I would definitely recommend it.
I'm not a big fan of cider personally. I prefer liqueur and wine.
Cooper Benz really struggling around that last corner onto the back straight. I just noticed I'm watching the stream and it's on my laptop and it's so far behind from when I'm watching it on the TV.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Oh,
oh, Coops again!
I think that's this and next lap. Yep.
Yeah, that was a 43.9 as well. That's a case of he definitely has the pace to go through by the looks of it, but he's really struggling with his track limits and he's under pressure now. There's under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, Cooper Benz really just needs to get a time on the board, and I imagine in their case, in the top 10, it's going to be quite hard to come through the pack in the wet. So,
especially when you've got such a close field as well.
Yeah, qualifying definitely matters now. It's a bit like Monaco.
Alright, Quirky Turtle. It's still it's not full wets for me yet. There's still that racing. You can still see the racing line, can't you? Especially on the back straight. So not getting the full wets yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, full wet's obviously a far different experience to this. It's not that they're less grippy or anything. It's the amount of water they carry makes it understeer a lot more.
Quirky Turtle improves by a couple of tenths, but still stays in 12th place. Is ahead of Eagle. Eagle down here in 13th as well. Also struggling. How is Coops getting on? Again invalidated. Oh, it's because of last lap, wasn't it? Last corner.
Yeah, it's all or nothing for Cooper Benz now.
He's got the blinking fuel light as well.
There must be around about a lap of fuel in there then.
Must be right on the edge.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Cooper Benz out if he runs out of fuel.
This is the first time this season, in qualifying at least, I've seen Cooper Benz under pressure.
Yeah.
He's normally first 3 weeks he's easily into Q3.
Yellow flag sector 2. Cooper Benz going purple in sector 1.
Purple sector. See, that's what I'm saying. He has the pace. I don't think he really needs to like push the track limits, if that makes sense. I know it's easy for me to say that because I'm known for them, but see what I mean? I think he can easily get like a low 44 and be fine.
A low 44 should get you through, at least. Well, most likely.
How's Eagle getting on? Because he's under pressure. We've got Quirky and Millsy, although Millsy's on an outlap. Eagle's 3 tenths up already, sector 1. Quirky on another lap, goes to 6th. That puts him a little bit more safer. Puts Camo on the bubble into 10th place.
I think Camo's qualifying was over. Got round again to doing the lap on a fresh set of inters. 2 tenths up at the moment. We've got Falcon, who is also 2 tenths up and going purple in sector 2.
Despite the rain, Vettel, I thought
has run out of fuel.
Is he going to make the line?
Yeah, it's not going to be quick though.
That's a surprise. That is a real surprise.
Eagle 3 tenths up in sector 2.
Yeah, despite the rain, I thought the rain was going to spread out the field. It's not as close, but it's still quite close, to be honest.
Yeah, obviously the gap between first and second is Mercedes Red Bull lag, but
Millsy's out.
Oh, Eagle has
and
invalidated.
Eagles, 44-1, that would have been fine as well. Youch. Shane goes to 4th, Camo's at 11th at the moment. And he's behind a train of cars as well. All desperate. Millsy didn't make the line.
Camo going P2.
Camo goes 2nd place.
Knocking Beast Pro out, but can Beast Pro respond? Nope, invalidated the lap. So that's everything sorted for Q2.
Right. And all they go through. One if Peachy Pig knows this and then probably dart into the pits at the end of this. Yep. Wow. So probably biggest double surprise for me is Cooper Benz and Eagle down in 15th and 13th. But I think if Cooper Benz, if he can pick his way through the field, we definitely saw he had the pace, didn't he? Because of the invalidated laps, they were up there with the pace. But just got caught out. It's easy to do.
Yeah, it's extraordinarily easy to do. Beast Pro's lap would have got them through had it not been invalidated. And it would be Peachy Pig who would be out.
Missed out on Q3 by 0.03 of a second. The Peachy Pig. Oh, and the AI cars are starting to come together, which is alarming to see. Hopefully they don't collide. I mean, Eagle's lost his front wing.
It's
great. Oh, good. There's a racing point there as well. Oh! Ah. See what I mean?
I did think that glitch was gone.
I think we're alright though. I think they can't, like, they don't go as fast enough to, like, to retire the car maybe, but they still hit each other. So, Beast Pro in 11th, Millsy 12th, Eagle 13th, OG James 14th, and Cooper Benz 15th. Those eliminated from Q2. Take us through the top 3, please.
Third is Quaker Oats with a 43.7. Second is Camo with a 43.7 as well. And on provisional pole is Eyes the Best with a 43.279.
Nice. Do you want to invite someone?
Yeah, sure. Who are you thinking?
I was going to leave it to you, to be honest, to make the choice.
Okay, how about Cooper Baines?
Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, have you noticed? It's full wets. Full wet Q3. Oh, let's ramp it up a notch then.
Excellent.
You inviting him?
I did, yeah.
Cool. Peachy and Camo looking at the intermediates, but by the looks of this, we have a full wet Q3. Jesus. So, if you have any indication how this Q3 is going to go, obviously, by the looks of it, Eyes the Best is pretty good in the rain around here. But do you reckon he can keep that advantage now it's full wet? So obviously the times are going to be a lot more slower and could be a lot more different.
Doesn't look like Cooper Benz is going to join, so I invited
No
Beast Pro.
worries. Yeah, if Beast Pro doesn't, then we'll leave it. See, it's definitely full wets now. Look at this. Look at that rain. It's teeming down.
Yeah, I's the Best and Falcon, the only people to go. Well, I's the Best, the only person that got out on intermediate.
Could be an inspired choice, actually.
It might dry out later on in the session, but current conditions, it's definitely wet.
There is definitely rain and water on the track.
Well, I'd say it's more of a bath than rain.
Oh, fantastic. You don't follow football, do you?
Bundesliga and Serie A, yeah.
My team's losing to our arch rivals. Fantastic.
You're a Brighton supporter, yeah?
Yeah, we're losing to Palace. Fantastic. Anyway, carrying on. How is I's the Best getting on with those inters?
Pretty slow.
Stroke. Can you keep an eye on him on his if he starts the lap? You can keep an eye on him and see what his first sector's like compared to someone. If I keep an eye on Shane, who's going to be the first to set lap in Q3.
Sure thing.
Through turn 1, carry the speed best you can, down to second gear, get the car turning with the rotation, but of course on the wet tyres it's going to be sliding all over the place. It's all about keeping your momentum as much as you can, minimising the wheel spin, short shifting as Vettel said earlier, probably helps. And down into turn 5 hairpin, second gear, again short shift to third. Now how's he going to take?
Best is invalidated.
Oh. How's he going to take turn 6? He goes down to 5th. He realises it's obviously a lot more slower. And really when it's raining, you just got to build the lap. It will come to you if you allow it to. If you start over driving, that's when you're going to start sliding and spinning or making mistakes.
You know that.
Looks a solid lap at the moment.
Expecting something like a 1 minute 50, maybe 55.
Yeah. What were we, 47s in Q2 on Inters? So yeah, about 150 probably. Right, down the long back straight, still reaching 199 miles an hour, but you got to get your braking perfectly. You got the car in turned in pretty nicely. A little bit of wheel spin on the edge, last corner. Make sure you don't. Alright, go over the track limits. We're still in the 47s.
7.
Oh,
Only,
46.
yeah, not that much slower. Maybe I's the Best choice to go on the Inters might not be such a bad idea.
That's. What were we, Q2? 47.3?
No, 43 2 I think was original.
My mind. Camo has just taken provisional pole just ahead of Quaker It's 46.8. Lap from Camo.
Yeah, great lap
Williams
there.
of Maniacs just starting. This will be Quacky Turtle.
Quacky Turtle with a 48.4. Then Peachy Pig.
Tactic here is multiple laps, isn't it? You just fuel the car and it'll just get quicker, don't you?
Yeah. In the wet, it's all about rhythm, so getting into the swing of it, and also heating the car up properly is vitally important.
Oh! I should have kept the camera in broadcast there for Falcon. He did that monumental drift. out the double left hand, he's not liking these conditions at all. Really sliding the car. You can see all the way around this right hander, the car just wants to step away from you, but...
Not invalidating there.
No. Right, get the braking right. Obviously you're braking a lot more earlier than you would in the dry in Q1. As Quaker Oats improves to take pole back, a 46.6. As Falcon goes 7th, 47.9. Science goes 3rd, 46.9, so it's Quaker, Camo, Science and Shane and Stretch the top 5 at the moment. Take that Stretch into 4th, 47.1. Peachy Pig, very nice. Out there hairpin, got the traction absolutely perfect. Car decided to stick with him. Going to get in the 46s, just goes 4th, just behind Sainz.
Yeah, good lap there from the runner. Not too much separating the two runners in Q3 at the moment. Around about 2.5 tenths.
Look at the sky as well. The fog. It's not smog anymore, it's fog. Directly above the track.
Yeah, indeed, it's definitely not a pretty track.
Maniac's going on 1 minute 1.7. Seems to be on pace, I think.
Is that sector 2?
Yeah.
Well, it was a little bit quicker than, was it Turtle? Yeah. Turtle had a 2.7.
Science goes 2nd, displaces Camo off the front row with a 46.7. He's done 3 laps already on those tyres, so he's doing exactly what me and you mentioned, which is fuel up the car, just go lap after lap. Camo, though, interestingly, Vettel is going the opposite way. He's done a couple of laps, I think, on his wets on a first set, and now he's coming out on a fresh one.
Maniac 48.6. Is the best, purple sector 1.
27.683. Can you look at Quaker's first sector, please? Because unfortunately, obviously, we don't have a delta to go from.
27.7.
Ooh, so it's a 10th up. 10th up on Quaker's pole lap. The thing I noticed as well, he kept the car in 6th gear through turn 6, where I've seen everyone else go down to 5th.
1 minute dead, middle sector.
Yeah.
That was 2nd quicker than a Maniac's at the moment.
So it looks on pace. I tell you what, are you watching the lap as well?
I am indeed, yeah.
Car looks very stable. Very controlled. Exactly what you need.
It looks to me a bit like a wet setup.
Mm-hmm.
And plus the Red Bull's design philosophy is good in the wet.
Yep. Nicely through the hairpin, short shifting as well, as we've seen. Can he get the last corner right? Sainz's teammate takes pole, but I's the best.
3rd.
No! 3rd.
I's the best, got another lap. Oh, wow, there's cars parked right in the apex there.
Oh, jeez. I missed that. Mercedes, a Renault and a Haas all coming out at the same time. And they've got to get round quick, Vettel, to be honest, haven't they? They've got 1 minute 35 and they're at turn 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order. I doubt they'll get there. I's best 9 thousandths of a second up, going very deep into that corner there.
So he's up in his time despite that distraction. Jeez.
Isabes has abandoned it.
Ah, that's a shame. Break Race was a 10th up when I last checked. Oh, he's half a 10th down. He lost what he got in the first sector.
Maybe
so he'll have to get it all back in the third.
Yeah, the rain
Possibly.
looks to be coming down a bit harder now.
Jeez. Ice is 3/10 up. He said he abandoned it.
I thought he did.
He's in none. I've just realised something. He's in none ERS. Yeah, he's. Oh. I know what he's doing. He's putting it in none ERS through the corners so he can get better traction.
Smart.
Very smart. Way to do it, yeah. See in the braking zone, into the hairpin, into none ERS, and then put it on hot lap on the exit. Seems to work for him. 18 seconds to go. Is he going to take pole back?
Indeed.
That's 46-1. It's currently a Red Bull 1-2.
Signs cannot improve. They have invalidated. Camo is on a lap
6th.
on the fresh wets.
Half a
500's
10th
up. Quaker's invalidated. We got Shane who's... Oh, finished lap.
Be starting another one because he just made the line.
Pig only...
Maniac's done.
800's up.
So we got improvements all around. There's a queue of cars there. You got stretched damaged by the two Renaults.
Falcon's nearly 8/10 up at the moment.
Ooh. Vettel.
Yeah.
Rainsy stuff.
Ah.
All of a sudden, it's just it's barely raining now.
Oh, Camo spun it.
Oh. This rain has really changed. The Falcon's gonna go 8th.
Shane has spun it as well.
Oh. Is there anybody up? Cameron's just coming back. Science is done. Eyes is getting a slipstream from his teammate to possibly improve on his time.
We got Peachy
The
Pig.
other is... Oh, the traffic. That rain is definitely eased off. There might be this might be good for Eyes and Peachy Pig. Oh, but Quaker... Oh! Was Quaker... No, Quaker was completely in...
Normal mode.
That's... Yep. It's almost... I don't know what to say, really. Just completely... Didn't know where he was compared to Peachy Pig, and Peachy kind of expected him to be offline, and that's
I think
all she wrote.
Quaker's out of fuel.
He was right on the racing line there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Eyes went even faster and secures the pole position, and it's a 1-2 for Red Bull Racing around here. Only just though, because you got Camo in third, a couple of hundredths behind Sainz, and then Quaker Oats another couple of hundredths, and then Stretch and P5 should be pretty happy with that. Maniac 6th, then the two Renault 7th and 8th, Shane and Peachy Pig, Falcon 9th, and Quirky Turtle in 10th. Whew. Well. My former team as well. Don't drive for them anymore, and they get a 1-2. So that's again, me not racing. I'm not affiliated with anybody, so I can be more neutral. Still say former team though, but jeez, what a qualifying! I mean, we kind of almost expected Eyes to have a little bit of advantage because we saw in that intermediate session in Q2 Vettel, but had to do it with what? 1 or 2 laps. So he had to work for that. And the pressure was on, but he got it in a great pole position.
Yeah, indeed. Nearly half a second clear of his teammate, which is very good for, obviously, Eyes' confidence in the race. It looks like he's going to be the one to beat.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, congratulations on your pole position there, Ice.
Thank you very much.
And it's an intermediate start to the race by the looks of it, unless it's. Oh no!
It's full wets, I think, all the way through.
Oh no! No, it's you're on dry tires, aren't you?
No, why?
Huh?
I'm on dry tyres, why?
Says to me you're on dries. It's dry tires on a wet track.
Oh,
By the
no.
looks of it.
No way.
Oh, brilliant. Anyway, let's talk about your pole. Yeah, great pole by 0.4 of a second. And obviously with the close field, that is a pretty good gap that you had on the field. But by the looks of it, you were praying for this rain. And I know a few fellow F3 drivers, your teammate, was saying to me before this, you were looking quick around here, but the rain just made it look even better as well.
Yeah, I feel when it's wet conditions, I'm probably more towards the front. So I've kind of been praying for a wet kind of race for a while now. So finally here, so I can hopefully turn it into 25 points.
Yeah, you've had a solid start, I say.
I think I got 5th at Bahrain and then
Ninth in last week.
Yeah, I'm always a bit of a struggle till we get to China, and then again at Baku. From Baku on, I'm pretty strong. So if I can kind of be roughly towards the top 5 or 6 from Baku, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah, I think if I remember rightly, you're a bit unlucky, and obviously in Australia to not have the points. But then you kind of got the luck back in Vietnam, because if I remember, you had a difficult start to that race, and the safety car brought you back and got a couple of points.
Yeah.
I guess in this race you'll be determined to stay up the front.
Yeah, I mean, Australia, I did the wrong strategy. I did the 2-stop, which backfired. Vietnam, yeah, I got lucky with a couple of instances after the safety car. But this is one of my favourite tracks, and hopefully that I can show, how much by getting the 25 points and bringing good points to Red Bull.
Yeah, I was going to say, great.
Yeah,
qualifying for you and your teammate.
Yeah, congratulations to Jake, because he's been kind of struggling a little bit. He won't mind me saying that. So to get like 1 and 2 to start with, hopefully we can convert that in the race, and yeah, it'd be good.
Any questions from you, Vettel?
So with the dry tyres on the wet circuit, how do you plan on getting away off the line cleanly?
I'm doing no traction, so I've never been in this position before, so this is going to be a bit new to me. And then again, the switchover period, I don't know really how long to leave it. So this is where the usual situation for me is I like to be like 3rd or 4th and then just follow what everybody else is doing. So I don't know. It's just going to be new territory for me.
I'm not looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a weird race.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the weather looked like it was full wet all race, so God knows what we're doing on dry tyres.
So it's getting heavier, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be interesting. So we'll let you get ready.
Thank you.
And best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Interesting how I see in the race director, Vettel, quite a few people, because of course they have free choice to go on any dry tyre they want, apart from obviously hards, of course, but quite a few people going on the mediums by the looks of it.
Yeah, with the wet track, not 100% sure about that, but you realistically need as much grip as possible to go off the line.
Can't join while the race. Oh, excuse me, in invite me in the race. That's because I lose. Oh, Cooper Ben's lagged out.
Well, That's not good. Normally when people lag out before the start of a race.
Yeah, you can pop in an invite.
Yeah.
That worries me because that's the I was going to say this is the one thing I don't want this week, which we've had. I think we've had every week now in this division, and that is a restart. I do not want a restart, especially under these circumstances, with a wet. But Shane is on hard tyres. Oh, yeah, you can start. Never mind. You can. That's a bold choice, Shane, on the hard tyres. All right then. Take us through the grid, please, Vettel.
Alright. Starting P19 is Edited Fawn in the McLaren. 18th is LR Blazer Guns in the Alpha Tauri. 17th is Spooky in the other McLaren. 16th is Monster Skyline in the Alfa Romeo, who did release their car today. I have to say I am a fan. 15th is Cooper Benz in the Racing Point. 14th is OG James in the Scuderia Ferrari. 13th is RSF1 equals 78 in the Mercedes Benz. 12th is RSF1 Millsy in the other Alfa Romeo. 8th is XXX Beast Pro XX in the other Ferrari. 10th is Quirky Turtle in the Hayes. 9th is RSF1 Falcon in the Williams. 8th is Peachy Pig in the Renault, and his teammate Shane, who is drifting in the other Renault.
Tyres for you.
6th is RSF1 Maniac in the other Williams. P5 is RSF1 Stretch in the Mercedes. 4th is Quaker Oats 1992 in the Alpha Tauri. 3rd is Camo in the Racing Point. 2nd is RSF1 Science in the Red Bull. And pole position is Eyes the Best in the Red Bull. Now we're just going to wait for a long straight.
Yeah, I love that shot where you've got a broadcast camera on first and you get the entire grid shot, them all weaving. By the way, sorry I laughed at Shane there, but on the hard tyres. That is a extremely bold call, Vettel, I think. Hard tyres for Shane in 7th.
Well, I'm going to watch Shane start and see how entertaining it is.
Now, fingers crossed, please. I beg of you, Codemasters, if you can give me just one thing,
Maniac's
do
lagged
not...
out as well.
Yeah, they're back. I think I saw their names like fade and come in. Yeah, Codemasters, if you can give me one thing, do not make us restart this race. Because the one thing, Vettel, if we have to restart, you can't get dry tyres on a wet track again.
Unfortunately not, no.
Exactly. So, please. Come on.
It's looking all good, I think. I don't know, it says
it does this and then you just... It does this and then you gotta wait.
Yeah, I'm not...
Oh, we're good. Alright, here we go. And the lights out and away they struggle. Look at the spray.
Oh, Shane,
and the Williams. Look at the Williams. The Williams of... who is that?
The Maniac.
In the lead. That's Maniac. Maniac's had a demon start. And he's going a little bit wide though at the end of turn 1 and they all struggle through.
Oh,
and
damage.
It's gone off.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. I don't know what happened to Maniac there.
Leading, I think.
Yeah.
Then Peachy Pig.
Timing pages are a little bit skewy.
Shane massively falling down off the start there.
Yeah, and I think we're sorting out. So let's go to the position changes. There's been a lot. Peachy Pig is up to 2nd already. He's had a great start. Don't know what happened to Maniac, but he's dropping back. OG James is up 7 as well, as they all struggle through.
Is
Yellow
that
flags
Blazer?
at the back.
Yeah, it's Blazer.
Yeah, Blazer's had a spin. Back up to the front though. And you can see how difficult this is. Oh, there's Peachy Pig sliding all over the place. Sainz is completely gone. He's almost 2 seconds up the road.
Yeah, not good news for Eyes the Best. If they're going to box this lap, he'll be sat there waiting a long time. It looks like Eyes the Best is going to go down the inside of Peachy Pig. No, braking very late, having a look down there.
I don't think he wanted to make the overtake because of the braking, but he's alright. And Peachy Pig somehow gets the better traction than him. Stays in second.
No one
Eyes is all over the back. You've got Quaker rates as well.
1 minute 50.2.
Nice, first lap. So it's going to be like time invaders are gone again.
Quaker
Looks like
right behind Peachy Pig. Oh, Sainz is... I'm confused. These timing pages.
Yeah, just give it a bit. Just give it a bit. Who's behind? You got Camo holding up a... Looks like a train to stretch. Ferrari. Again, it's difficult to tell as I think Eyes and Peachy had a connection there.
Shane
Had a crunch of carbon
being
fibre, Leroy.
taken by Quirky Turtle and getting hit in the rear by Maniac. Yeah, Maniac sails around the outside of Shane. These hard tyres are looking extraordinarily bad, which I'm not surprised.
Oh god, yeah, he's been climbed all over the back! Oh! Scooper Benz. Scooper Benz got a little bit of a hit. Yeah, Shane's really struggling on this, but we kind of expected it was a bit of a gamble, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cooper Ben's going down the inside of Beast Pro. Beast Pro fighting back, bit of contact, no damage thankfully. But yeah,
all these three, Eyes, Peachy and Quaker. Peachy defending on the inside of Eyes. Look at them, how close they're going. Tire rubbing. Quaker Road's looking up on the inside of Eyes though on the exit. Peachy Pig nearly loses the car. Almost going 3 wide in the last corner. There goes the camera. This is all good for Sainz.
Yeah, Sainz has got clear road ahead, 4 seconds up.
How's DRS enabled?
I have no idea, but DRS in these conditions is probably not the best idea.
Falcon's got by stretch for 6th as well. Yeah, Sainz is 4 seconds up the road. He's completely gone. I think though Peachy is holding back Eyes and Quaker. I don't think Peachy can keep up with Sainz, but if any of these two can get by and they're both bumping into each other,
yeah, basically pushing Pig out of the exit.
Yeah.
Eyes going very wide.
Thing is with Shane and these hards, the question would be is when is this rain going to be hard enough for intermediate tyres? And if it holds off and these guys have to pit as there's a spinning Alpha Tauri that's blazer guns again through turn 5. Yeah, if this rain holds off Vettel and Shane hasn't lost too much time, he could be in the net lead of this race.
Well, he's a good 10 or 15 seconds behind P5, I think.
Quaker edging by Eyes the best. Eyes is still there though.
Eyes is getting a nice slipstream from the runner. Is Eyes going to pull out in head and try and go down the inside? No. Quaker basically cutting over the chicane. I'm not sure about the rain, to be honest.
It's kind of steady, isn't it? Camo's doing a good job holding back Falcon, despite the fact that Camo's on medium tyres as well. And of course, if Camo can stay out on those mediums, he could be the net leader of this race, as long as he doesn't lose too much time. But you can see the difference. Falcon over the back of him. Shane is now 16th. I think he's losing far too much time on those tyres.
Yeah, he's a sit and duck on most corners. Hasn't got the grip to live with the guys ahead at all.
I've just seen Spooky go right round the outside of Millsy for 11th there as well. Battles all over the shot.
RSF1 Maniac is going round the outside of Quirky Turtle. Yeah, got the move done cleanly.
Oh, nice.
It's not
Should have
nothing
kept on
to see
then.
there.
Should have kept on, and I wanted to go back to the free. Sights is just 6 seconds now. Oh, there's a McLaren of Spooky and Quirky going side by side. Millsy and Cooper Benz trying to figure a way to go through as well. What's happened? What's happened up front? Peachy and Eyes. They're both dropping back. God, they're both on the grass.
Spun it. Oh, made some contact.
And they're dropping all the way back through the field. There may have been contact between the pair of them.
None
They're
of them
both
have
coming
damage.
back on. No. And they both had a spin as Cooper Benz has got by Quirky. Millsy's looking as well. Yeah, this is all giving Sights near a 7-second lead up the top. As Eyes is trying to recover, his tyres must be absolutely screaming, and again he's struggling. Oh, he does.
Yeah.
So Pulse hitter into the pits, and what does he go for? As Beast Pro is in as well.
Yeah, Shane is in.
They can't go for intermediates. They have to go for dries. Not wet enough, surely.
No. Might end up being a bit of a disaster.
Oh, they are. They are. Shane as well.
I mean, Shane didn't really have much choice on those hards. He might as well go on these inters.
There's laser guns as well. I mean, they got nothing to lose, I guess, at this point where they are. But
RSF1 Falcon is in a podium position again.
Yep, podium last week. Vietnam looking good so far, but there's a long way to go, I think, in this race.
Oh, definitely. Quakerite's cutting a bit of time out of Signs on this lap. Good 3/10. If he continues that, might cruise up to the back of him.
You know what I'm noticing?
What's that?
The gap between Beast Pro and Eagle. Beast Pro on the inters, Eagle on dries. That gap is closing. I think it's almost time for intermediates, if not now. As always, James has a connection. Well, I think the tyres. Yeah, Falcon's in. I think it's intermediates. James is gone down to a crawl.
Signs is not coming. Might suffer because of that. We got Falcon in the pits.
Yeah, Falcon's called up.
Perfectly timed pit stop. Signs and Quaker might be losing a lot of time this lap.
Peachy also in. James comes in as well. Yeah, I think they've just called it right. Although DRS is still active, which is the weird thing.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. The DRS active. It's a bit inconsistent.
Right, so here's the big indication. Eagle, who's on dries, and you can see Falcon on the inters. And I think that says the entire story. The leaders have got to pit for inters because Falcon's going to go
down the inside.
Around the outside. Eagle's going to trying to fight it.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, but Falcon's quicker. Look,
a lot quicker. That's at least 2 seconds in one corner there.
Yep. The Falcon's leading those on intermediates. Are the leaders pitting? Sainz pits. Baker does. Surely they're all just going to dive into the bits now.
Yeah, I feel bad for it. No, Camo stays out.
Stretch stays out. Maniac stays out.
Spooky comes in.
Cooper Ben stays out as well. Interesting. Well, It's kind of that trap, isn't it, Vettel? Because normally you would go on to wet tyres, and Sainz retain the net lead at the moment. Falcon's ahead of Spooky
P3.
and ahead of Millsy.
Skyline hasn't pit, and obviously none of the top 5 have at the moment.
No. I think these top 5 have fallen into the trap of they're not pitting until DRS is disabled, yeah. I feel really sorry for Rise and for Peachy as well. Their collision has dropped them outside the points now. Camo leads. Stretch. Second. Then you got these 3 on softs. Cooper Benz on the back of Maniac. DRS still it's a weird one, isn't it? Because the intermediates are definitely faster, but DRS is still active. Always. Falcon nearly hits the back of Stretch. Now they're gonna. Oh no! 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 Cooper Benz and Falcon. That was clumsy. Banging of tyres and they're both round.
You sure it wasn't Turtle? Or Maniac?
Yeah, Maniac and Cooper Benz. Right, so yeah, intermediates they go in. Means Sainz keeps the lead.
Yeah, Sainz's lead has come down quite a bit, but Quick has got a time penalty.
So yeah, Falcon has moved into a net third, so he's done very well out of this. Spooky back out on dries. I think that's a mistake. I don't think that's a him mistake. That might be a game mistake there, potentially. And that is a real shame, because he's come out in 4th, and that would have been really good for him.
Yeah. I think it's more likely a game mistake. Having said that though, the rain isn't coming down that hard.
DRS is still active.
And Stretch isn't gaining that much on Spooky. Yeah, the gap's 1.1 seconds, which is obviously quite a bit.
That's a real shame as well, because if it had put on intermediates, he'd be up 13 places. Because he started in 17th, would have been the net 4th at the moment, but...
Yeah, well, Jeff is a very unforgiving person. If he doesn't offer you the right strategy, it's normally the wrong. Having said that, I've never really followed any of Jeff's strategies. They're normally pretty abysmal.
According to the chat, apparently BF1 Racer and RSF1 Vettel are lucky charms for Falcon. They cheered him onto a podium last week, and look at the DRS, look at the traction that Stretch has got. It's going to breeze past Spooky on the front straight for 4th place.
Yeah, pretty simple overtake. I don't think Spooky has got much traction left. Oh, making a move.
It's the character of that corner, isn't it? The guy ahead and just understeer wide, and the gap will open, but the apex just closes. Good thing he ducked out of that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a misleading corner with how wide it looks. So it does really sharpen off as you go in. Did you watch the Alfa Romeo car release today?
I did. And I kind of like it. Again, not to rub too much into McLaren, at least they've done more than McLaren. But, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think the Alfa Romeo is quite nice. I wasn't a fan of the 2019 and 20 livery, but I quite like this one. AlphaTauri though looks dreadful.
I think someone else asked me. I think Monster Skyline asked me in the podcast we did on Friday. Has got a overtake going on. Beast Pro in the Ferrari is going to move into the point. Season still DRS is active. Bit of overtake, goes right in front of Peachy Pig, and Peachy Pig had to slam on the brakes early enough, but Beast Pro's into 10th, and Eyes, who is still recovering from the spin earlier, has got by Shane in the other Renault. So both Renaults lose a position up the same corner.
Yeah, losing positions this early on can be a bit problematic. I'm not really sure what's happening with the rain. It's not getting any heavier and it's not getting any lighter.
It's weird, isn't it? Because Spooky's not... I mean, he's losing time. He's not losing as much time as I thought he would.
Camo's going to go down
So
the inside there. No? Holding off.
No.
Oh, but Spooky goes
was
wide.
Huh?
Oh.
What? Blazer on softs, fastest lap of the race. Camo trying to go on the outside.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Spooky as well. That's an odd one as well. This is very hard to call. Because Blazer is actually flying on those softs. But
I have no idea which is faster.
I don't get it. Meanwhile, up front, Quakeoids is catching sights a little bit. The gap is 2.3. They've gapped Falcon. Falcon's in a kind of comfortable third at the moment.
Yeah, he's in no man's land at the moment. Cooper Benz, 3-second time penalty. Signs and the gap between Signs and Quaker is going down quite a lot. I believe, actually, last season Quaker had an incident, the second last lap with his teammate, and it took them.
Oh yeah,
out.
I remember that. Yeah.
They're looking at make up for that last season.
Yeah, the chat watching cannot make any heads or tails out of this. I think on balance the intermediates are just faster, and I'm just going by the way Spooky is just losing time to Camo and Stretch. But it's a fine balance. It's almost as if like some sectors of the track are wetter than others, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say that.
As what's going on here, this is Eyes the best. Sandwich between the two Renaults. Oh, there's a
bit of contact.
Don't know what happened there. I was looking back towards Shane. I missed the contact up front.
Have you ever played Project Cars?
Yes, don't particularly like it, but go on.
Well, on certain tracks you can go on the wet with dry tyres and you're faster than you are on the wets. It's a bit like that, I'd say, but the other way around.
Oh, yellow flag. What's going on? That's
a lot of
it's Fawn. Fawn, who's a lap down pretty much, as Eyes is trying to edge by Peachy Pig, almost pushing him through the long right-hander. And they're both getting a slipstream on Fawn. There's that. Jesus! Peachy Pig got very close to the Fawn. Eyes looking on the outside, like braking.
Around the outside.
These two have had history in this race.
Yep, more than enough
yes,
traction.
Lovely.
Red Bulls do like to overtake at China.
I'm not counting Eyes the best out of points here.
Definitely not. If the weather conditions stay as they are, which who knows what they are?
I don't know. Really don't know at this point. I mean, we were told full wets. Oh, God's sake. I had it on leader briefly, Vettel. Jesus. There we go. Not you, other Vettel. Confusing. Oh, God, I just noticed as well. As RSF1 Vettel tells me gap to leader. Look at the top two. 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, Quaker has got a lot more pace, but does carry a 3-second time penalty. I believe
Right, RSF1 vet.
tyre wear is quite high around here, so I don't think the 2 stops out of the question.
Especially intermediates as well.
They do wear down very quickly, and they end up being slicks by the time they're pretty much burnt off. And then they just puncture randomly. It's happened to me a lot. Tyres. I believe if you overheat the rears to about 110 degrees and you keep it like that for a lap or so, on about 60% wear, they blow up.
Maniac's got a run on Spooky. Spooky just somehow, he's the, well, I say the only one. You got Cooper Benz and Blazer at the back of the grid, both on dries as well, but he's the only one in the points. You can just see there's some traction zones, Vel. It's just those on intermediates just have that little bit of edge on him.
Lizard Guns goes down the inside of Cooper Benz, locking up into the corner, but managing to grind to a halt.
Yellow flags of OG James, who has fallen. Oh no, that's his AI car, because he's just retired from the race.
In the pits, I presume.
Yeah, he did.
Good.
Right, in terms of position change, let's have a look at Spooky. Still hanging on in that top 10. Up 10 places, Falcon up 6. Biggest gainers. Yeah, that's one thing for certain. These intermediates will not last to the end, will they?
Definitely not, no. And they puncture a lot.
You have to. Yes, you have to pit. I'd say at least once. We've still got another 15 laps.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. Beast Pro with a time penalty.
Unless this rain eases off just a little bit.
I wonder how Spooky's tyres are doing though.
I think it's alright, to be honest. And it's weird though how he's not losing that much time. Here comes Quirky, who's got so much more speed than Millsy. And into the braking zone, but Millsy's holding the inside line.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
Oh, Spooky's in. Is he for Inters now, I guess?
Yeah, Inter should go to the end, I think. I'm not sure at all. I don't know what the tyre is.
Eliza's in as well. And Beast Pro. It's not damage, is it? There's something.
Ferrari isn't there with the front wing, so no.
Dries! Dries for Beast Pro.
Spooky's out on intermediates.
This is so weird. You got Spooky, who's just gone from dries to inters because he's thinking, obviously, I was intermediates now. And then you got Ice and Beast Pro for, okay, I'll just give the dries a go.
They've got to try something, I suppose.
Yeah, hard tyres for Beast Pro as well. I mean, it could work out. If this rain eases off, find himself back in the points.
Quaker is less than a second from Sainz, but won't have the DRS.
Right, so we're going to have to go back to him at some point, because Quirky might have another go at Millsy on this back straight. He's so much quicker on the back straight when it got through there last time.
Yeah, it's not often you say Ferrari engines are good.
You know what?
It looks like he's got it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Sainz in the pits.
Oh, what tyres?
Sainz in the pits. This is a huge call.
It's medium.
Either way. Tries. Oh, this race. This is ridiculous.
The rain is the same as it was before, but, you know.
It's really hard to read, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know what makes it worse is because DRS has remained active despite it raining.
Yeah, I think that's
what really makes it difficult to call. Let's see how Science gets on with this. He's got Quirky Turtle on intermediates right behind him.
And Signs has left it for dead. Until the break-ins.
He's on fresh tyres, isn't it? This is a huge call. This is a huge call for Science. And for me, personally, it's not something I would have said he really should make.
It's a big gamble.
Because if this doesn't work, he's lost the win. He's lost the podium. Could have easily... All I'm saying is he could have easily gone to intermediates one again. He had... What? The top two had 13 seconds on Falcon. Who is... They've cleared away, to be honest, but...
Yeah, Signs is actually losing time to Maniac, so I don't think it is dry conditions.
You think what it is that Eyes obviously went on to dryers and said, okay, they're fine.
Not necessarily quicker though. Quirky Turtle has got the DRS and Signs not able to make a move, but is very close.
Quaker's in the pits. What does he go to?
They're intermediates.
He goes... So there's the difference. Stretch takes the lead ahead of Camo. Quaker turns left on the back. Where's Quaker? Quaker's taking the lead. Quaker's jumped to Science.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that the medium tyres are not as good as the inters.
No.
So RSF1 sites might have thrown away the win here, unless Science knows something we don't.
Oh dear.
I mean, Quirky
the
Turtle's
hardest
all
races.
over Science.
Yeah. You see what I mean? Out of the slow traction zones, the intermediates just have a little bit of edge, even worn ones.
Oh, DRS
DRS disabled! Now we do know it's intermediates.
Yeah, must
It
be
took
good
its time,
friendship
and
for
that-
Signs there.
That's her. He's got a pit again, doesn't he?
Yeah, promoting. Who would it be? Would it be Quirky Turtle for the podium?
Well, yeah, because it's going to get Quaker Oats a massive lead once everyone pits.
Yeah.
He's over the back of Maniac. Falcon would be second. No, it would be Stretch and Camo fighting for third, I would think. And this is really...
Yep, Turtle's gone down the inside of Science.
That's a really hard break. I don't really think you can blame... I don't really think you can blame Science for going to mediums, to be honest. Because it was right there.
Yeah, Science is in the pits. Oh, nearly Lewis Hamilton it there. Yeah, Maniac's in the pits for Inters, I imagine.
So I'm going to have to turn the stream on my laptop because my battery has just gone... Zip.
Intermediates with Falcon.
Right, focus on the race a little bit. Right. So that's dropped Science from in contention for the win to 9th place at the moment. Although you still got Stretch, Camo, Quirky, Monster Skyline to pit ahead of him.
Yeah, Science did have a 13 plus second gap over them to begin with. So maybe might come out ahead of them. So if Science can put the pedal down, he might be able to fight for a podium at the end.
I think we've got to wait until those that haven't pitted at this point to pit again. But here's my question, Vettel.
Yep.
They've only taken intermediates 8 laps. We have
11 left.
11. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be an order.
So if the rain stays like this, this is going to be a choice between don't take too much out your tyres and try and go to the end, or go aggressive and pit for a third time.
Yeah, Wake can afford to not push too much with the gap that he has.
Although saying that, Stretch and Camo have carried on. Quirky pits. Scarling gonna pit? No, he stays out ahead of Falcon, who is net second behind Quake. Quaker has a 17 second. That's 17? 16. 16 second lead over his nearest competitor, which Falcon would be.
Quirky Turtle coming out ahead of Science. Orbit Science goes round the outside.
Oh, Quirky just hangs on to it. Science on the fresher tyres though, trying to find a way through.
Yeah.
Or heated tyres, I guess.
Well, that's about what I was going to say.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to have a run. It's going to have a run. Here we go. Turn 5, big lunge. Is he going to get that stopped in time? No, but he parks it. Parks it in front of Quirky, and Quirky had no answer.
Interestingly, no one's actually been able to beat Blazer Gun's time on the softs yet.
Yeah, fast as that at the moment. Ooh, who's that? Spooky. I'm just. Do you remember Spooky was on the mediums? The only one in the top 10. He somehow ended up 6th in all this.
Yeah, great drive there. Well,
I don't know how he's done it.
me neither, to be honest. He's just come out of nowhere.
Top 2 pit. Stretch and Camo pit, so I think Monster Skyline should be in shortly as well. Ice the best 3-second time penalty. What could have been for Ice? Right, so Quaker is obviously in the lead. And Falcon's going to have a bit of time on Stretch, not a lot. But yeah, that's your podium. And Spooky's got ahead of Camo.
Yeah, great undercut there from Spooky.
Oh, so we do have a full-way battle for third by the looks of it. If Stretch can't pull away from these guys, you got Spooky, Camo, Maniac in there, and then Science is 7.5 seconds off of this.
Unless something happens to Quaker, he's probably got the win in the bag.
That's a commentator's curse.
We have got a yellow flag in Sector 3. And it's Beast Pro spin.
Beast Pro with a spin, yeah.
Well, it's a Ferrari, so can't come to the job.
Yeah. I think I've got to keep my camera on this. I just realised something as well. I know it's silly early days, as Beast Pro I think is, yeah, he's retired. So no points for the Constructors leaders Ferrari. Beast Pro and OG James in. So in terms of the championship battle, although it's stupidly early, right? Science, championship leader, 7th. Cooper Ben, second in the championship, is 14th, as Cameron's got to run. The lunge on Spooky, but backs out of it. Who was next in the championship? I think 3rd. Was it Stretch or was it Shane?
Might be Stretch.
I need to look at my championship table again.
Camo's pretty much killed off his ERS supply. We've got
Ooh!
full track yellows.
It's Ferrari AI car.
Monster Skyline put on the soft tyres.
Yeah, dries, I just noticed that. Also, Brighton have equalised, is now 1-1. Just checked. So, yay. Still this battle for third rages on. Stretch has actually gone. Oh, pulling away from these guys. Spooky is kind of holding back Camo Mania by the looks of it, Vettel.
Yeah, Spooky obviously coming up an entire 13 places, but does hold that time penalty, which probably will put him behind them anyway.
Oh yeah.
So holding them up as much as possible is probably the way to go.
I feel like if Camo can get by Spooky, we've still got another 8 laps. Also, I'm noticing Spooky's on 5-lap-old intermediates battle. He might start to struggle in a bit, but Camo's not worrying about that now. He's got a better run for the hairpin. Can you get the braking right? Surely. Give me a good camera angle. Spooky still trying to fight it. Still trying to fight it.
Yielded.
Camo, surely he's got this. Yeah, he does.
Camo has killed off his ERS though. He's on 14%.
Jeez, yeah, he did.
I'm surprised Spooky didn't use the in defense, to be honest.
I think he understood he had to get by. Shane was third in the championship. Point ahead of Stretch. Falcon on the same point. So ends like this.
Falcon
Break
would go
goes
third,
to-
wouldn't he?
Yeah, just trying to think, will they take the lead away from Science? Science 7, if that's 6 points, is it? Yeah, 6. So that would put Science on 42. He's the best fastest lap of the race. Put Science on 42. Falcon with his 18 will put him on 41. And then Stretch with his 15 will put it on 38. It's all closing up very nicely as we head into next round, which is going to be the Dutch Grand Prix around Zandvoort.
It's a very fun track to drive on different games. I don't really like it on this. It doesn't feel like a track. It feels more like a go-kart sort of circuit.
Not much room for error, is it?
No.
Where qualifying is pretty much everything. Almost like a Hungary, I guess, or a Monaco.
Yeah, I'd say something like that.
So Camo is pulling away slightly from Spooky, so he's kind of putting himself away from danger, but he's not catching Stretch. I think Stretch has this third comfortably at the moment.
Yeah, Signs is not really catching Maniac up that much either.
Oh. Yeah. So my next question would be, Vettel, we saw guys pits after 9 laps on intermediates. They're going to go another 6, so maybe the two... I definitely think Spooky's going to struggle to get to the end.
It's an ask for Spookies to go there, but I think the top 3 and Camo probably will go at the end. I think Camo's a certain to go there.
Yeah, I'm just questioning at this point the top 2 on 5 laps at the moment, as everyone else is pretty much fine. The only other thing is Spooky on 7.
If Quaker needs to, I'm almost certain he can tire save.
Comes Maniac with a good run on Spooky using a bit of ERS, so he's under 10%.
Flag. Not sure what that is. Oh, it's Monster
Like an
Skyline.
alpha. Yeah. And the other battle at the moment is Millsy up behind Quirky Turtle for 8th. Camo's gone away from Spooky. Spooky's struggling on these tyres, I think, because here comes Maniac trying to go around the outside of turn 1 is a brave move. Spooky's still up on the inside, but they're giving each other room. Good stuff. I'm trying to get a good camera angle, but I can't.
Maniac goes down the inside. Looks to have the better
Great.
line through there.
Great respectful stuff between the pair of them. Gave each other just enough room.
Yeah, I don't think Spooky is gonna fight it too hard. Obviously, McLaren need the points, and obviously with the penalty situation, I think Spooky would have ended up behind Maniac anyway.
I think Spooky's really struggling on these tyres. I don't think he can last.
Maybe not.
So if he's on 8, again goes back to the leaders. Are they going to be able to get to the end? Remember we were saying about I think Monster Sky has gone off again. Not liking this part of the race. Stretch is catching Falcon. Oh, there is a line. Get out of the way. Yeah, Stretch is catching Falcon at the moment.
Battle for P2.
Yep.
That's a bit of an insult, isn't it?
He's on the grass.
I don't really think you can gain 10 seconds by not being on the track like that.
No.
Falcon doesn't have a lot of ERS to defend with, and well, Stretch doesn't really have a lot to attack with either, so...
This is a key thing here. And again, I know we're talking stupidly early days, but it's all about like morale as well. If you're leading a championship, you feel good about yourself. If Stretch can get by Falcon, he will take the championship lead. Oh no, it'll be equal on points with Science, but it'll be equal championship lead. And it looks to me
Skyline has retired.
It's going to be put him under pressure. Yeah. The thing for Quaker is here, Vettel, he's got such a gap, 17 seconds. He can pit and he won't lose. Would he?
He would come out in 4th.
Ow.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk.
Lose the lead, but no, I'm just saying if he has to.
Yeah, that would put Camo in the net lead. Then Camo does not need to pit again.
No, Stretch would be in the net lead, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stretch ahead of you. They're both on the same tyres.
Yeah, that's right.
ERS is about the same between Stretch and Falcon at the moment. Stretch just got that just a little bit more. The other battle on the track is Millsy. Still can't find a way past Quirky, but they're having a good battle there for 8th. Spooky is not dropping off too much from Maniac. As we're on lap 25 out of 28 of this race, it's been a very good race so far. What have you thought about this race? It's definitely been intriguing with the weather, hasn't it? But in terms of the racing, I've seen pretty good racing from these guys, despite the conditions thrown it at them.
Well, I just found this race extraordinarily confusing, especially the first half with the tyre situation. It looks like Quaker's slowing down a bit, losing 8/10 in one sector to RSF1 Falcon.
Oh, Falcon going wide on the curbs. He's under pressure now. Stretch can sniff that second place. And I think, is Camo actually catching the pair of them?
No. Well, not on the straight.
I feel like he is.
It's 2 seconds now, so...
I'm keeping an eye on Spooky, who's now on 10 lap old intermediates. This is where they all start dropping off.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Science is catching him hand over fist, so Science could still move into 6th.
Not such a bad recovery drive, but that fatal error.
He'll be kicking himself, especially on the fact that when you had Vietnam last week. I mean, he's getting points this time, and he got no points last week, but felt aggrieved last week, and he's going to be very aggrieved this week. This race is stretched still. And I've just noticed another battle creeping up. Mills is being caught by Shane in their battle for 8th now. All round the same tyre length. Yeah, we were told full wets at some point, weren't we? We never got to that.
No. We certainly didn't. Oh, Peachy Pig and Blaze Gun having a lot of contact there.
A hairpin. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on Millsy, Shane and Quirky, but this is the battle for 2nd. Going on now. Stretch has now a lot more ERS than Falcon, so he can use it to attack.
I don't think Stretch is as fast as Falcon on the straights.
It's got it through the corners though, and it's the fresher tyres helping, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Can he get close enough?
Falcon will be in the danger zone with the tyres.
Camo is there. Stretch, I think, is going to have to get a move on. Otherwise, he's going to have Camo on him for the last lap or so. Meanwhile, I haven't really put the camera on Quaker Oats at the moment, but he's driving a very good race. 17 seconds up the road from Ness.
Spooky's still holding a 2-second gap to Signs. I think he might be able to do it, you know.
How's his tyres? I was going to say.
Oh, well, I've got no idea. You can't really tell the wear.
The lack of grooves. You can't see any grooves at all.
Ah, so they're dries then.
There's still something. Camo is right up at the back of these two. Stretch cannot find a way past Falcon, and that has allowed the racing point of Camo to come right up behind these guys.
Yeah, sniffing on a podium here.
This is the battle for 2nd place. We are in that puncher territory for these intermediates. I think Spooky is not going to hang on to that place anyway because of the time penalty.
Oh yeah.
As
He might
Stretch
be under threat from,
is using his overtake. Here we go.
round the outside.
Late on the
Oh,
brakes.
locking up there. Getting forced wide. Falcon is not one of them.
Falcon gives him no room on the
Camo's
exit.
going, looking for the move,
Oh,
choosing wisely to back out of that.
last lap.
Yeah, this
And
is when
Stretch
it's
is not gonna Stretch is not going to be very happy about that. Falcon gave him no room to kind of re-overtake back, basically.
now he's going to be under threat from the both of them now, going down the main straight. Falcon might not even get a podium at all.
Yeah.
Falcon is using overtake there. I would have thought saving the ERS for the main straight is a priority.
Oh, Stretch having a look. Keeping aboard with Camo.
Camo's low on fuel.
Last lap of this race. I will jump on board with... Oh, it's a big slide for Falcon. How on earth did he keep that on as Ice has retired? What a shame for Ice the Best, the pole sitter. Science is on the back of Spooky. Look at Falcon. The Falcon is losing the car. Here comes Stretch. He's going to gobble this up.
No,
But he
Stretch
couldn't-
is
he
going to
cou-
deliberately go back.
Oh, here comes Camo. Jeez.
Stretch desperate for that toe down the main straight.
Oh, that's a bit of a gamble, though. I think he could have made the overtake. Meanwhile, Quaker is going to win this race.
Quite comfortably.
Yeah, I'm going to briefly get onto him and then back onto the gap for second because Stretch is going to go for it. Sorry, Quaker. Quaker wins the race. The Stretch is going to go right on the outside. We saw what Falcon did last time.
And it's a repeat.
This repeat. Can Camo get him on the exit? Stretch is going to go try to go on the outside. It's going to be down to the last corner. They're going to give each other room. They just. Stretch goes wide.
Camo
gets the exit.
gets
He's going to
third.
get third on the line. Camo to third on the line. Got the exit ahead of Stretch onto the podium.
I'll get them in here.
What a finish. Oh, Maniac 5th. Science did get sick ahead of Spooky, who drops behind Quirky as well. Millsy 9th, and Shane picks up the last point for Renault. What a race. And have Eagle, Cooper Benz, Blazer, and Peachy Pig, the last people driving.
Yeah, Spooky are losing out on the P7. Still 4 points from the back of the grid. So.
Big apologies to. Are you serious? Are you serious? Serious. Brighton 1, Palace 2. 95th minute goal.
Who was it?
God damn it. Oh well.
Oh, Benteke.
That's not gonna bring down my mood. That was a good race, F3. Well done. What a finish. Apologies, Quaker Oats, because I normally watch the leader and the winner cross the line, but I had to go to that battle for second. That was a great finish. Camo nabbing it on the last corner on the traction. Jeez.
We only got 2 in at the moment.
Nice, yeah. Right, there is your results. Quaker Oats winning by 15 seconds in the end. Calmly drove to pick up his first win of the season. Falcon in second. Back-to-back podiums from him from last week. Camo nabbing the podium off of Stretch over the line, but Stretch can still be happy with 4th place. Don't you snigger. Maniac 5th in the Williams. So good stuff for Williams, 2nd and 5th. Sainz, a good recovery for 6th, but I think he will be very aggrieved from dropping out of potentially winning that race. Working Turtle 7th. Spooky all over in that race, but started 17th and finished 8th. Millsy 9th. Shane in 10th place.
I've sent 3 invites, so.
I don't think Quaker has a mic, unfortunately.
No, I've included my audio now.
I remember last season. He doesn't have one. What a race. What a race.
Falcon there.
If that's...
Sorry.
Your
Question.
Include your audio, by the way.
I have done. Question, Falcon. What tyre percentage were you on?
wait, how old tires do you mean?
Yeah, what percentage were you on? They must have been dead.
I think I pitted end of lap 15. They were like 70 odd. So I was struggling.
Jesus. Oh, that's
I
madness.
was just trying to hold on for my life at the end. Yeah, they were just almost dead.
Right. Yeah, I don't think Quake has a mic pedal, so if I do third, you do second.
Yeah, sure thing.
Oh, Brundle.
Although I'm going to regret, because I know what you're going to mention.
What am I going to mention?
Have a look at your phone or football scores.
Oh!
Yes,
lost.
yes.
Christian Benteke scored in the last minute.
Yes,
I didn't see this. Championship side. At best.
You know what? To be honest, you know how much I support Brighton. I don't care because of that finish. That was a great finish between you, Stretch, and and Falcon there for second place and nabbing the podium away from stretch. Not to stir the cauldron a little bit, but do you feel a little bit of justice, revenge from losing the podium in Australia?
That's all I kept saying when I
back
was
now?
behind him. I said, "This is for Australia."
Yeah.
Mate, I just sat there and just waited. I knew they're going to start battling, and I knew they'd go deep or push each other around, so I just waited.
Yeah, so I took the opportunity very well. In terms of the race, though, that was incredibly confusing for us to watch, and must have been even more confusing on the track. I remember rightly, you just stopped to the intermediates. Did at any point did you think going back to dries from the beginning?
No, not a chance. The inters were far better. It was a case, I started on mediums, and it was a case of just thinking, a lot of people went on softs, which were probably the better tyre at the start, but I was thinking if it is that sort of weather you get on the race, where it's just kind of dry tyres, sort of just trickling with rain, and you're like, it's fine for the dry tyres. I thought I'll stay out on the mediums. It's like insurance. It's like the normal mediums are hard for China. But then it was like the mediums were 10 times slower, the softs were 10 times quicker, and then the inters were like 20 times quicker. So as soon as I think it was like Reese, Pro or Shane went on inters, and they were like gaining seconds a lap on people. It was like, yeah, we'll pit now. So yeah, it was horrible either way though. The whole race is just sketchy.
Well, it was good for me to watch. Anyway, I enjoyed it. So,
Good for you.
yeah. In terms of the tyres, obviously, you had actually you had no trouble with the tyre wear, to be honest, in the end, because you done it.
Yeah, because I went on the mediums. I went longer on the mediums when all the soft tyres went in. I went in for like another 4 laps or so. It lost me a little bit of time, but obviously I gained all that back because my inters were still on like 50% at the end. That's a
good.
Thank you to Rhombus and Easton for telling me to do that. Otherwise I would have pitted a lot earlier.
Is it safe to say you've put Bahrain firmly behind you? Because obviously that
Yes.
was a race to forget that one.
Let's not mention that. Let's move on.
I did.
No.
I did.
I'll mention Brighton's relegation.
I mentioned the lost podium. So
yeah, well, I should have had one in Vietnam as well, but I forgot to put the pit limit on.
Yeah, but in terms of a good start to your season, I guess you can't really complain too much apart from the Bahrain stuff.
I mean, I guess not. No, I should have had a podium, Australia, but then I thought, I'd lose on the last lap. Bahrain I crashed, and then Vietnam I forgot to gauge the pit limit and got 5 seconds. But each of them I was net P3. But at least today, finished P3.
Zandvoort next. Completely different track to even last week and even this week. What's your thoughts for Zandvoort?
What would I rather do instead of Zandvoort? There's a list of things. I'd rather jump out my window and land on my neck.
Yeah, no. Not something we want to say, but on stream especially.
Oh, okay. I'd rather punch myself in the toe.
What has your toe done to you?
Is that better for you?
What has your toe done to you?
Nothing. I like my toe.
Whatever. In other words, you don't.
No, it's one of the worst tracks on the calendar and shouldn't be a thing.
No.
Not as bad as Vietnam.
No,
I don't know.
not as bad as Vietnam. Or Monaco.
I'm no traction when I've just started.
Or Japan.
You're dissing Japan. Get out.
I'm dissing Japan. I hate Japan.
You hate Japan. That's the best track on the calendar.
My opinion.
And your opinion's wrong.
But and then your third place,
Thank you. Well done to Brighton on relegation.
Love you too, Camo. Right, Vettel, take it away for second place.
Before that, I have some inside info from the McLaren garage. Spooky's tyres at the end of the race were on 98%.
What?
Nah.
How did he not get a punch?
Jeez.
Bullshit.
Well,
How could...
that's what
No,
I
you
heard,
can't be on
so-
98% and not get a puncture. I want to see this.
How did he not?
That's insane if he did. Give that man a medal.
So Falcon, second podium in a row. Could you walk us through the race?
Yeah, so I got quite a good start, even though I didn't make up like any positions before the first few corners, but I did get quite a good jump off the line. Just tried to keep it clean, and then obviously it was for like the most of the race. It was in the crossover between inters and dries, but yeah, I had Ben Vittel helping me out, and they told me to pit and back in the inters again in end of lap 15. But yeah, towards the end my tyres were absolutely screaming. I just I almost lost it a couple of times, and I had Stretch coming right up behind me, pushing me all the way, and I was trying to tyre save at the same time, but I couldn't. So my tyres were like 75% in the last lap, and yeah, I was very happy with that I managed to hold on. But yeah, I definitely didn't expect a podium this week because China's not one of my best tracks whatsoever. But yeah, very very happy to get in the podium.
Yeah, so Zandvoort next week. Is it a track you like?
Yeah, I quite like Zandvoort. Remember, was it last season? It was a wet race in F3, and I think I binned it right at the start, which wasn't great. But yeah, in the dry, I like it. I do think it's a good track, but yeah, not so much in the wet. But yeah, hopefully it won't be raining for Zandvoort.
Hopefully it rains in Zandvoort.
Nope. Oh,
well, that's all of my questions. So, anything you want to ask, Ronald?
Back-to-back podiums from last week for Falcon. But yeah, apparently you're in the chat halfway throughout that race, Falcon. BF1 Racer and RSF1 Vettel apparently are your lucky charms. Can you shed some light into that?
I mean, yeah, it looks like it. 2 out of the 3 races have helped me. I've got on a podium, so it must mean something, I guess. Yeah, they've been helpful, very helpful. Telling me what tyres to pit and pit on everything.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, I have nothing else really
I do.
to say. Obviously,
Relegation for
Come on.
Brian.
Don't care. Don't honestly care. Quaker Oats, obviously it'd be very good to speak to him, but obviously doesn't have the mic. But I'm sure he's absolutely overjoyed with that win. But yeah, and obviously F3 can now look forward to Zandvoort next week, and looking forward to a new streamer as well, because Craig Senna should be back in, and he should be the streamer going forward.
Arsenal
So-
in the table club.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
This is a... No, never mind.
Drift at the moment, to be honest.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Yes, anyway. Craig Senna should be taking the box
Happy birthday,
from
Senna.
next week onwards. Yes, happy birthday, Craig Senna. And how can you sum up that race, Vettel? Confusing, I guess, will be one word.
Yeah, definitely. I had no idea what tyre was faster for most of the race. And obviously the game decided not to tell everyone when to go on to dinners, which has made the race a lot more exciting, actually, I have to say. China's not known for the best racing, but it's a good race today, good race.
Yes, definitely. If that's one of my last comm session for a while, that's a good one to end on. But we'll see. I'll be around. It's not my definite last. It's just not full time, I guess. Anyway, yes, we have a few more races around China this week to bring you. Tomorrow is the F5 division, and it should be Monster Skyline and TSRC Rogue taking you for that. And F1 back on the Wednesday, Blazer Guns and Hippo, of course, on that day, and then Thursday Toxic CW, or Spooky, I guess you call him now, should be back in the comms box. He's got all his issues sorted out, so he'll be back alongside Sync Saiju for F4. Of course, all those at 8 o'clock. So, from everybody here, your podium today: Camo in third place in Racing Point, second Falcon in the Williams, first Quaker Race in the Alpha Tauri. Vettel, thank you very much for your company.
Yeah, it's been good.
And I've been RF1S Michael, and thank you very much for joining. Take care of yourself as always, and see you next time.
Bye.